Morning, everybody. This is your host, Brody, coming to you folks live here this morning with another amazing Morning Magic Stocks and Morning Magic Talks. We got Michael, super backer in the house. Going to be here past the hour here this morning, 5:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Pacific, for all of those you turning in on the channel, bringing me with you this morning on your adventures. I'm glad to be with you, ready to rock it. I hope you got Brody in your pocket, sitting on the dash of the truck, maybe on the kitchen counter next to the coffee pot, wherever you've got Brody. You've got the latest Magic the Gathering stock trends, card prices, and a little bit of coffee in your cup. So happy to be here. The second show of the year. Feeling good. Just going to let this run out for 1 minute. How you doing today, Michael Superbacker? Happy to have you. Let's just take a little bit of time for ourselves this morning before we get ready to face the day, the challenges that come with getting out in the world and meeting it head on. You're ready to meet the world today, and thanks for joining me and bringing along with you. My name is Brody. I'm here to talk a little bit of Magic the Gathering stocks, and with a little bit of help from you folks, a little bit of Magic the Gathering talks. Leave me a comment in the comments section below. I'm glad you're here. We got the coach in the house. Thanks for coming to all my games. I appreciate it. You've always got some good advice when Brody's swinging at those low pitches. Don't swing at any low pitches, folks. Make sure the fire is stoked and you don't pull the trigger too soon on any of these cards that are popping up on the market. We were looking at some charts there yesterday. We've got some interesting stuff for you folks to discuss. We've got some news articles from the news desk. The folks over at MTG Stocks always have an article to share, so we're going to get into some of that. We're going to check the price of Hasbro stock, but first let's just have a little bit sip of coffee. It's Tuesday, so you know that means we've got the Dual Brain shirt on for any of you folks over at the Dual Brain channel. Just wait, there's more, because if you couldn't read this shirt, it's the Loud Nyard shirt. No, it is. Let's just hit this button. Oh, Brody's upside down. Brody's flipped around. Can Brody do it? Oh, uh, there he is. Brody's flipped himself around. Now we've got the Dual Brain shirt on, and life is a whole lot better now that we're reading stuff from left to right. Oh, I watched the replay on the stream yesterday, and that was tough to watch. But we've got it fixed now. Our lefts are rights are left, and we can just have ourselves a little sip of coffee here. Why don't you do that with me today, folks? Thanks again. I love to read the comments from you. Michael Superbacker says, "Doing well, thank you. I really enjoy your show. It makes the start of my day a good one." Well, thanks, Michael. Appreciate you having my back. Actually, anybody who's tuning in this new year, Michael joined us for our very first Magic the Gathering Stocks and Talks. So right back at you, Michael. It's a good way to start the day when we put on our game face for the world. You can shake it off. You can just get ready to start your day here. We like to start our day off the right way. let's have a little bit of laugh and a giggle, maybe a little bit of chuckle, see what's going on in the world, and let's go. Well, let's do this here for let's check the stock desk. Let's do it right on Hasbro stock. Here we go. Brody's got his really epic pen ready, and we get to draw some lines. I've never been so excited, right? Oh, for a guy who's just like looking at the year to date chart, but there's only 2 days in this year. So let's pull this chart back a little bit. Like I was saying the other day, I want to bring this chart up here for you folks and just touch on this chart a little bit here. I first time I saw this chart was early last year, and I don't know why I didn't think to show it, but uh, maybe Brody just didn't have enough friends to show it. But you're here now. So this is a pretty cool chart. We briefed on it yesterday. I'm going to keep bringing this up again and again. And the reason I'm going to keep bringing it up again and again is because there's a lot of people out there, YouTubers included, and everybody's got their allowed to have their opinion. That's totally cool. But we're going to share our opinions here. All are welcome here on the channel. So you can share your thoughts and please leaving me a comment in the comment section below. But this is an interesting chart. If you have a look here, it's called periods to make money. All right. Now I didn't make this chart, but if you look, I'm just going to move it off to the side. And I didn't show this yesterday. On the bottom right hand corner of this chart, right about here, there's this name and signature here, and I can hardly read it out, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of digging around online. But the date right here is 1875. So the story behind this chart, as far as I know, and if somebody's got a better one, let me know, because this is as close to the real story as I can get. This was in the back of a hardware store catalog. It was written by the fella who owned the store in 1875. This was illustrated and it made its way into the back of the parts catalog in the store, and it's got cycles on it, A, B, and C. So A is up at the top here, and this is years in which panics have occurred and will occur again. So that's A. Now, this chart going back to 1875, this fella has, I mean, if you're into numerology and following charts, 1927, 1945, 65, 81, 99, 2019, and 2035 and 2053. So this chart goes all the way up to like 2060, 2059, and you could probably extrapolate it with the numerical patterns that they use here and run it out for I guess as long as you really wanted to. But the point is, A is it we'll not talk about like what the panics were, but the fact that there were panics in these particular years. Now, B here is a periods of good times, high prices, and the times to sell stocks and values of all kinds. So we're looking at the last period of really good times, 2016, right here, going for like a 7 year slowdown to 2023. And then, like, this is where we're at now, where the blue circle is 2023, which is years of hard times, low prices, and a good time to buy stocks, corner lots, goods, and hold until the boom reaches years of good times, then unload. So we're like right here in 2023. Anybody who's saying the bottom is in right now, they're not, I wouldn't say they're particularly wrong, but like this is a 3 year upswing to 2026. So I would say we should be waiting for some better prices because a lot of stuff doesn't actually have uh good prices. Like look at the price of a head of lettuce, let alone a magic card, Bazaar of Baghdad or anything like that in the market. So The bottom's not in. This is all I'm trying to say here. We should be waiting another 3 to 6 months. Brody's gonna wait another 3 to 6 months before actually honing in on trying to pick up anything such as reserve list cards. This is like the period to pick up reserve list cards, in my opinion, right? Until we see a return to a period of good times, and that's going to last for 6 years, and then it's going to head back down to 2032, seeing some periods of hard times again. So, like, anybody who's joining us likes to look at charts. Do you like watching stock charts? Like, does this fun for you? Does it just a bunch of numbers and lines on pages? Like, does it make any sense? Let me do it for you. I'm doing it here every day, so you can join us. We're looking at a 5 year chart here for Hasbro stock. We're gonna have a little sip of coffee. Let's do that. Well, thanks for that, homie. Thanks, homie. You know, buy low, sell high. That's what I always say. uh, just gonna do a little adjustment on the camera here this morning. Thanks for tuning in. All are welcome here at the channel. If you guys uh, got any cards that you got your eye on, but let's get some fun into our Magic the Gathering collection because it's a lot more fun when we have the cards in our collection and not sitting in the showcase at the store. So let's plan for that. Let's try to build our value into our collection, make it a little bit more fun. People are waiting for the last quarter of Hasbro stock financials to be released. There's speculation on when we're going to see that, but what's that going to do for us here on this Hasbro chart? Let's look like a 1 year chart. Well, I hope we're gonna personally. I think Brody's gonna see a little bit of this here, like just oh gosh, this Hasbro stock's gonna end up hitting Brody in the head. It's is Force of Will expensive? We can look at that card here today, Michael, and we should look at that card. Let's take a look at the Force of Will here for Michael. Yeah, Force of Will is an expensive card. It was funny. The first Force of Will I ever got was from my cousin Paul. Shout out to cousin Paul. It was really cool because nobody wanted to pay a life and remove a card in the hand. A card in the hand was actually said to be really good. So the downside on Force of Will was really a thing in the day. Nobody, I still don't want to give up a card for it, but I will if I have to counter your shenanigans. So let's take a look at Force of Will today. And let's do another couple of things. Let's go take a look at the stock desk and see what we've got for articles because we got some. We got some. We got a new article here. The Big Fangs Reserve List Lessons. All right, from January 8th. This is an article from Harvey McGinnis, and I like it when Harvey gives us some articles because it's always a good time. Some Harvicles, right? Happy New Year, everyone. 2022 is come and gone, and now it's time to look towards the future. New magic, new me. Well, a new all of us. Let's get into it here for January the 10th, 2022. This article from Harvey McGinnis brought to us a couple of days ago. Since the turmoil and fallout from Magic 30th anniversary release has largely come to pass, the overall Magic marketplace has been relatively quiet all over these last few weeks, with Dominaria remastered, Phyrexia All Will Be One on the horizon. Most customer eyes and such quite Most customer eyes, and as such, quite a deal of money, are currently held up in anticipation of products to come, whether people are waiting to pick up sealed products, needed reprints, or new singles. One thing is certainly clear: the market is quiet right now, and a little money is being spent on older releases. This lull provides us with an interesting opportunity as we enter the new year, a moment to sit back, evaluate the state of things, and a plan on how to move forward. While the S&P 500 lost an overall 19.4% in 2022, alongside its magic counterpart, the reserve list, which has fell at an average 30%, and the advent of Amazon dumps has inspired fear in the marketplace for en masse sealed product purchases. Ed's in the house. Dual brains in the house. Morning, Ed. It's Tuesday on. It's Tuesday. Got my dual brain shirt on. We're just doing a little bit of magic. Thanks for joining us for some Magic Stocks and Talks. While scrolling through the reserve list, an interesting trend emerges. While we're certainly both losers and gainers from across all tiers and price points, overall, the majority of reserve list losses come at the hands of cards in speculative third tier category, whereas the more tried and true sections of the reserve list were stable, or at least didn't fall as significantly in 2022. So, stepping back a moment, let's break down the reserve list tier cards. According to our friend Harvey McGinnis, we first off have the tried and true investment class reserve list cards: Antiquities, Unlimited, Raven Knights, Legends in the Dark. This group holds cards as varied in power level as the Black Lotus to Ali from Cairo, primarily being linked to their incredibly limited print supply. While there certainly exists a hierarchy of demand within this tier, these cards are nonetheless historically backed by relative price stability and a gradual trend upwards. So here we got a Arabian Nights card, Ali from Cairo. He's great. I have an Ali from Cairo. Interestingly enough, traveled on the bus for a long ways to get it across the province with a friend of mine, uh, pretty young at the time, I think 14. So it was something. While Ali's in play, damage that would reduce your life to less than one lowers your life to one. All further damage is prevented. So here's an Arabian Night staple. The second tier list is comprised primarily of playable cards from high print run sets, beginning with revised. This tier isn't based as heavily on card rarity or scarcity, but more so on demand. As such, this is why the dual lands from Revised are here as opposed to the Alpha Beta Unlimited counterparts in the first round tier. Other examples of cards in this category include Grim Monolith, Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Diamond, and Gaia's Cradle. This category is frequently subject to buyouts and more speculative price action, while simultaneously being a more turbulent asset class due to the living nature of play-based demand. So I couldn't agree more here with Harvey. Like, I never heard of anybody just putting a line under like top tier reserve lists, including Alpha Beta Unlimited and like Arabian Nights, and then like the revised and on, including the dual lands, copy artifact, Wheel of Fortune, to name a few, and including Grim Monolith, Lion's Eye Diamond, and Mox Diamond, Gaia's Cradle as like second tier reserve lists. I never quite heard it separated like this. I mean, it is all sort of top tier. So we've got so anybody new to Magic, let's just get ourselves a sip of coffee and welcome Tom Mitchell to the show. Tom's here. We can start. Tom, what are we going to do for list today? We did the vintage list yesterday. We haven't quite got there yet, but now that Tom Mitchell's here, we can start the show. Just leave us a comment in the comment section below, Tom. What list are we going to do today? We're reading some magic stocks, a little bit of talk from the stock desk. We'll let you get your hat on and get back to us there, Tom. Thanks for joining us here this morning. All are welcome here on the channel. Holy smokes, we got new folks in the house. Pureblood Intentions says, "Good morning. Let's welcome Pureblood." Mr. Pureblood, welcome to the show. Pureblood says, Pureblood Intentions, "Good morning, card investors. I opted out of MTG. Now I'm investing in sports cards. Less drama, no player versus investor versus Hasbro. Miss you all and I'm printing my MTG decks for about 0.43 a card. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Appreciate you joining us. What a great opinion. All are welcome here. Give us your opinion in the comment section below. New viewers, I'd like to also welcome Spider Steve to the live stream there yesterday, and anybody else who is new to the show. I'm happy to have you here. We got the dual brain in the house. Dual brain says, everyone hyped about Dominaria Remastered. Man, all the crazy pulls and thousands of force of wills. The reprints are found to dip hard. Michael Superbacker, Scott, good morning for everybody. Tom Mitchell's in the house. MTG Gaming Bob. Oh, Bob says, what a terrible morning. What's going on, Bob? How can we make it better? And Dual Brain says the reason cards are expensive is players, not collectors or investors. Otherwise, Gauntlet would be as expensive as Mox or Lotus, or Quorum Trench Gnomes as expensive as Tabernacle. Bob's got a call 2 a.m. That's why I'm here at work today. Bob's been at it since 2:40 a.m. You got this, Bob. We got your back. Michael Superbacker has definitely got your back here this morning. Ongoing fire drills, need a break for a few minutes. Bob, we're happy to be happy to have you with us here today. If you do you like checking the prices of Magic cards? I do. I check them every morning. If it's too confusing for you, like if it's something you don't like to do, let me do it for you. I like checking the price of Magic cards. I like looking at the price of stocks, Magic stocks. I'm doing it anyway, so if you want some discussion on it, you're always welcome to stop by here, Mr. Pure. I like the comment on the sports cards because like Brody's got a big heart. I'll tell you right now. What and like I know Bob does too. Like from one man to another man. The working man's from one working man to another working man. I'll tell you. Yeah, Brody's got a big heart. Bob, if you're having a rough day, a long day, something that started early, we got your back, buddy. Hang in there. It's all gonna get a lot better. The drama surrounding Magic cards isn't easy, and it can writhe on a guy. So I can feel the sentiment into sports cards. I really can. Sports card world, hockey, baseball. There's actually a lot of cards that, like a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, that would be friggin' awesome. I have some Michael Jackson card or Michael Jackson. I have some Bo Jackson cards and some Michael Jordan cards. I actually have Michael Jordan's baseball card, which is pretty cool, and a few collectibles in the basketball world when basketball cards were being pretty hot. So, thanks for joining us here. We're just reading this article from the Magic the Gathering stock desk. Harvey's brought us a great article, sort of highlighting the separation between top tier reserve lists and second tier reserve lists. Top tier being Alpha Beta Unlimited, Arabian Nights Revised, and then like second tier, the final tier of the reserve list. Well, the rest of them are the cards that blur the line between over the counter stocks, funds, not listed on major exchanges, and speculative low volume movers existing as an opportunity for experimentation but frequently falling short of achieving long term price stability. This group makes up the bulk of the reserve list and was responsible for the majority of value loss across the reserve list as a price index in 2020. So we're talking about this tier here. The final tier makes up the lion's share of the reserve list, and just going back to like our chart here, so like we are 2023. If you guys haven't seen this chart, periods when to make money, we were discussing it a little bit earlier. We are like down here at the bottom, and the way this chart, it moves from left to right on a timeline, cycling between this bottom line, which is C, which is times of hard times, and then like good times, and then up here is like the periods when panics have occurred. So we're like right around here in 2023, and we're heading up to 2026. So this is a pretty interesting chart. I got it at the beginning of the video. We went over it a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to keep coming back to this chart again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Acidic dagger. Looking at these sections individually, two key trends are identifiable. The first and second tiers drifted slightly lower across for the year, while the third tier crashed. First tier, second tier drifted slowly to the right, and third tier crashed. This is because of a lower influx of money into the first two tiers of the reserve list, corresponding with lower overall demand, especially when compared against the explosive growth in 2020. While the third tier experienced an exodus of funds as the capital necessary to support speculation dried up mostly entirely. As such, although there is no escaping the fact that the reserve list fell in 2020, it's important to note that significant cause of this devaluation was a collapse in speculation, as opposed to the true index-wide collapse at the hands of the cessation of investment. That's a really wordy way of saying just people stop buying, well, having less money. As we move to 2023, understanding the reserve list tier system and the corresponding market behaviors which define it's crucial because doing so allows for a better informed approach to investment and speculation. The markets of 2022 displayed the important lesson that buying and holding any given card from across the entirety of the reserve list isn't necessarily a safe bet simply due to the reprint proof designation. Rather, each tier of cards has its own defining characteristics, and given the current bear market, it appears that the resiliency of the first tier will provide for the most risk-averse Magic investments as we begin 2020 to weather 2023. Thanks, Harvey. Appreciate Harvey McGinnis giving us another article to read on the channel. What a good article. Appreciate this fella, Harvey. So a shout out to you. If you got a chance, we can bounce over to Twitter and give Harvey a thank you. A little more from Harvey does the over under, and we've got some catching up to do on some of these over under articles. So basically, Harvey's got an opinion piece here on the reserve list and splitting it into three: top tier, middle tier, and bottom tier. And according to the research that Harvey's done, it's the bottom tier that's taken the hardest hit in the last little bit, which includes the revised edition and older, and a couple of cards from Stronghold and Urza's block, including the guy's Cradle and Mox Diamond and the revised dual land. So those we're probably going to be looking to pick those up on sale anywhere from next 3 months to the next 6 months. I would say like the bottom's not in. There's a lot of people are like, oh, bottom's in. Bottom's not in yet. Another 3 to 6 months, I'd say the bottom will be in. And like we're also watching like we want to see what happens here with this Hasbro stock price, because like that is, like it or not, that's gonna like drive some of the prices in the market. If things are gonna go lower, I'm Bitcoin, Hasbro stock, reserve list cards prices, wait for the super high end sales. What else have we got here from the stock desk? Big things, reserve list. Tom Mitchell, what do we want to do for movers and the shakers here today? Yesterday we covered Benevolent Hydra and Klaus Will and Dranith Magistrate and Hansa. Gaming Bob brought us Hamza, the extra tech to work with the Benevolent Hydra. Cat's fired up. Time capsule. Thanks for having us here. What have you missed, Bob? You haven't missed a darn thing. The show is here only because you're here. We started just when you got here. Um, it's all good. You haven't missed a darn thing. Just me rambling. Rambling is of an old man, Bob. You haven't missed a darn thing. uh, MTG's been a part of my. MTG Amy Bob says MTG's been a part of my life since I was 23, 51 now. It'll be a part of my life even when we have difficulties, for sure. I do like the connection to baseball cards and sports cards and being able to see certain players live on TV and look back to like great plays of those players too. Pure intentions. My Lotus 0.43 my moat 0.43 my moxes 0.43 plausible proxies. They play the same unless I decide to be a pro. Hope your collection value rises. Buy low, sell when you're high. Morning Time Capsule. Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining us this morning. Michael Superbacker asks, not only Michael wants to check out Force of Will, so we're going to do that here today. And like there's a reprint in the Force of Will. So let's we'll get into that here a little bit here this morning. What Michael likes about Magic is there is one brand. Although there's foils, borderless, and etched, with sports cards there are so many brands and too many for to collect. Tops, Fleer, Upper Deck, yeah, and such. So which to yeah, that was a tough part about sports cards collecting. It's like I'm collecting Pro Set. Well, I'm collecting Tops. I'm collecting Fleer. I'm collecting Upper Deck, and which one's the best one, right? So that's a tough part about sports cards. It really is. Tom Mitchell. Will Alliance's Force of Will drop because it's the latest reprint or just the reprints? It's the dude man. Love the dedication, questions, and no pushy opinions. Thanks, dude man. Appreciate having you here. Uh, so Force of Will. The question with Force of Will. Let's look at the Force of Will from Alliances. Tom, which list do we want to do here today? We did the vintage list yesterday. What do we want to run here on the movers and the shakers? We're just getting to it. So I don't think so. I don't think so, Michael. To answer your question about Force of Will, and like we're talking the original Force of Will. Okay, so this is I still think the original Force of Will, this one here, is underpriced. Now, like here's the thing. When you watch other Magic the Gathering discussions on cards and they start talking about price and value, I want to just let's talk about when we're here on the channel, those two things are different. They really are price and value. I don't use those terms interchangeably. And there's good reason for that. Some people say, "Oh, the price of this card went up. The value is there. It went up. The price went down. The value went down." We're going to talk about price and value differently. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people use price and value interchangeably. And I'll give you a good example why Force of Will is a great example why. The value of a card is what it does for you in the game. Like the value. How valuable is Force of Will? It's value well, it it's not very valuable if you're at one life. Let's put it that way, okay? It's not. Not has no value, has very little value when you're at one life. Okay? So if you cannot pay the cost in the game, it's super valuable if it's in your opening hand and you haven't played yet and your opponent's on the play and you're playing a older format like vintage or legacy or even commander. It's allowed in commander, so then it's super valuable. It's valuable if losing on the spot to a spell from your opponent is important to you. It that's the value that it gives to the game regardless of the version that you have. Now the price is different now, it depending on which one you get. So this judge promo is no less valuable than the original Alliance's version in the game. When we're speaking value, it does the same thing. The text on the card is identical. It's got the same value. When you're at one life, it has little to no value. It's got the same value if it's in your opening hand as the Alliance's one. The only thing is different. The only thing we can distinguish is the price. Okay, and that's up here. So what's different? The price. So this is why we have to talk about price and value differently when we're talking about Magic cards. And anybody who doesn't doesn't use these terms interchangeably, and they say, "Oh, the value of force of will is just." This is why we have to talk about the should be should be cognizant of this fact, because then if they would speak to them a little differently. So if you ask me, is force of will undervalued? No, force of will is like is it's got extreme amount of value. That's why it's going to see reprints. The price for the original one, Alliances, and I don't know why, it's because it's uncommon, I guess, and it's only $103, and I think that's underpriced. My personal humble opinion. In my humble opinion, and this one doesn't seem to move. It seems to be steady, and it's the OG. So like I think it's underpriced. I can't speak enough to the value of Force of Will, because I mean, opening one is like wahoo. Even if it's like a newer version, you open a Force of Will, you got your money's worth. Uh, it's invaluable if you don't have one. It's cool that you can actually pull it. Alan Cahoon's here. Morning, Alan. Happy New Year. I bet on rookies when they do well, it's an instant 10%. Yeah, rookies. That's so cool. Like in sports cards, to see like new rookies in hockey and baseball do well and like have a card. It's like getting shoes, right? It's so cool. Um, Alan Cohoon says that basically apply. Okay, got my best OG Force of Will on Ed's channel. Probably my favorite moment in Magic the Gathering. Very cool, Tom. That's super. Ed's on fire this morning. Glad to have you in the chat here this morning. Let us know if you got anything coming up this morning, Ed. Anything going on at the Dual Brain channel? So, does that answer your question about Force of Will? Because like, let's see here, change version. The most expensive version is this Judge promo. Dominaria Remastered. Let's check it out. Borderless Dominaria Remastered. This one's $139. Huh. Super cool. Uh, New Force of Will, and looks like new art on the borderless version. Happy to have a copy of Force of Will in any case. Myself, if I had to pony up the dough and buy it, I would go straight for the Alliance's version. No question about it. Just go get the OG. It's the cheapest one, and you could argue it's the best one because it's the first one. Why not? Tom, let's hit some movers and the shakers here this morning. We're gonna have a little sip of coffee. Do you like checking the prices of Magic cards? I check them every morning. This is one of the lists that we go to. Let's see here. We got standard, modern, hmm, legacy. We got choices. We got choices to make. All right. Standard, modern, legacy. What do we want to do here, Tom? All list, hey? The all list. Let's hit the all list. Let's just take a high level look at Magic cards in general, and we'll run the all list for you folks here this morning. Modern. Okay. Tom's got us on modern. Thanks, modern. Thanks, Tom. Okay, well, let's do the modern list. Like, why not? Thanks, Tom. All right, let's go. Elish Norm at the top of the pile. Let's check it out. Grand Cenobite. This is the Ebon, the Praetor, right? The legendary Praetor. This would be. Is this the? This is the original New Phyrexia. So this is up a couple of points, right? The New Phyrexia version. Why wouldn't you want the original one, right? I mean, going back, what did this thing see release? It's had a bumpy life. It really has, this Grand Cenobite. Look at this card. It's had a bumpy life. Oh, so popular when she first came out. Hot for about a year, and then it seems like it. Look at this chart on this card. It seems like it's like a 1 to 2 year cycle on this card, and now we're seeing a reprint. Card's had it. This card's had a heck of a life. I guess with the advent of the reprints, people just rushing out to get the new Phyrexia OG. This is maybe a classic case of people wanting the original one over the reprint. $30. The new Phyrexia foil, if you want the granddaddy, the most expensive one, is $76. And I would say maybe this is just seeing seeing its way into the top movers and the shakers list simply because of it's getting a reprint. Maybe 8 versions of a reprint. Kind of interesting. Uh, why do we see this one in the movers and the shakers list going up? Likely because it's the original. Maybe maybe some copies on the intraweb getting snapped up for sale, giving this a push up in price. Counterbalance up 6%. Here's a card that was big in Legacy. I like this card, an enchantment card. It's really a good card. Bill Brain says they're pulling a Tarmogoyf on Force of Will. Print it till it's worth $30, right? Yes, keep printing it till it's worth $30. Poor Tarmogoyf took a beating. Counterbalance, this was a card that was big in Legacy. Just going to take a look and see if Elish Norm decks using it. All commander decks. Joe to the Unifier, Muriel, Shield of Argive, and attracts a Praetor's voice. Definitely. Okay, so counterbalance. Second off the top of the modern list. Is this card seeing a little bit more return to play, return to the table? I hope so. It's a card that I think is pretty neat. It was played with Sensei's Divining Top in Miracles. Check this card out. 2 blue enchantment for $32. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, counter that spell if it has the same converted mana cost as the revealed card. So in Legacy, where a lot of cards cost 0 mana, 1 mana, 0 and 1 mana for sure, and perhaps 3, and 2 and 3 mana. This was played with Sensei's Divining Top, and it was used to manipulate the top card of your library. So this is the card it was typically played with when it was in Miracles, in Legacy. So Divining Top says for 1 mana, so turn 1 you play the Divining Top, but now it's like on the modern list. So I don't know why I'm suggesting Legacy play, but here's the point is the Miracles build with the counterbalance, it may not be super popular right now because the Divining Top was banned in Legacy, but like there's modern Miracles too. So just this is the card that broke Divining Top counterbalance. Okay. Divining Top costs 1. You get to put it in the battlefield and then pay 1. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You can tap the Divining Top to draw a card and then put Divining Top on top of its owner's library. So you can make sure you have a 1-drop on top of your library at all times. You can activate the top, put it back in any order, and then tap the top to put it on top of your library, uh, and then resolve the second part of Divining Top and do the rearranging or the drawing. You can stack those two effects in any order. So that's the card that broke. Counterbalance is the card that broke Divining Top, in my opinion. So here it is on the modern list. When an opponent casts a spell, you reveal the top card of your library, and if you do, counter that spell if it has the same converted mana cost. So using the Divining Top to manipulate the top card of your library, you'd have counterbalance on the battlefield, basically giving you like a counter spell for anything that's either 0, 1. Oh, if it's a 1, you put top on top. If it's a 2, you can rearrange it, and then you can always shuffle, use your fetch lands to shuffle and get something else on top. Counterbalance not going away. It's here we go. Legacy and Delver. It's played in Is It Delver? I think I got a foil version of this, and I may have bought into this when it was legal. See here. This is like this is likely when it was legal, and before Divining Top got banned. Decks using it. Is It Delver? Grand Arbiter, Augustine the Fourth, Zur the Eternal Schemer, Falca, Spara, Pact Weaver, and a bunch of commander decks. Great card. Is there a birthday? Somebody's birthday. Let me see here. When's your birthday? My birthday this week. I might have to buy one. Is it your birthday this week, Michael? Well, you let us know what day it is, and I'll put the birthday song on for you uh, on the show. I am not even kidding you. I have one just for you, Michael. I do. I have the really epic happy birthday song. We can play it for Michael here on the channel. I'd love to kick off your birthday here on the show. Thanks. Happy birthday to you, my man. Counterbalance. Let's check it out. Uh, Cool card. Let's roll the list. Let's keep going. Who else we got? Like, what else is going on this week? You guys, what do you want? You want to force a will for? Michael wants a force of will for his birthday. Hey, man. Phil Marshall, third from the top in modern. Ooh, look at this. A Soldier Lord. It's up 20%. How good a card is this? I don't know. Let's take a look. Ski. Field Marshal. I'm gonna have a little sip. Let's have a little sip of coffee in my favorite cup. Do 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 do. What a great way to start the day here. Yeah, I didn't know we got a birthday boy in the house here today. That's awesome. It's Tuesday. I got the dual brain shirt on. Of course, Alan Cahoon. What's Alan Cahoon say? Alan Cahoon. Let's see here. Artwork for some of the new tutors is pretty sweet. I am most interested in the tutor cycle from the new reprint set. That is something that interests me the most, Alan, and it's probably a reason why I have never bought in heavily into the tutor cycle. I did enjoy opening a few, like the Enlightened tutor in some of the master sets. So these tutors are going to give us an opportunity to pick up some of those instant speed tutors. I hit a worldly tutor in my Mirage starter deck when Dual Brain and the Macho Bro did that starter deck pack battle. So that was the last tutor I got was an OG worldly tutor. And the one before that was an enlightened tutor out of like modern masters or a double masters. The one where they're pulling the book off the bookshelf. I like that art, but I do like the OG Whirly Tutor with the fellow with the hat on. He looks so cool. Tom Mitchell says, "I wish I didn't have my decks in rubber bands for decades. Oh well, they're sleeved now. Holy moly, yeah, no doubt. Knockdowns. I have a bag of baseball cards. Okay, I'm not even kidding you. I have a Safeway bag full of baseball cards. It's sitting here, and I really want to like do something with the cards in there, but like that's how they I used to carry them around in like a grocery bag, and then we would set them up and knock them down. That is, yeah, that's a fact. I have some had some pogs too, but I don't know what I did with those. Alan Cahoon says, "I'm a RKF fanboy. Can't help but dig the new art for the Force of Will and the Tutors for sure." Dual Brain says the alliance looks so much better. Dominaria looks cool. Ed over Dual Brain says, you know, you guys are real Magic fans, the people who stick around during the bad times, not the ones who come back for and left after some time and have bull market. We're only in it for the dollars. Yeah, like let's look at some charts here. Like I'm like seriously, there is no better time. Like my opinion, my humble opinion. There's really like no better time to like be picking up uh real goods. Okay, let me put it this way: real goods, anything like lumber. Wait, we're gonna need to see some sales, but like we're not quite there yet. But like lumber, bricks, steel, glass, plastics, any real goods and wares. If you're starting a business and you need inventory or stock on any of these real goods, if you are a small business owner and you need like you're looking to pick up like products to to run your operation, now's the time to do it. Anywhere from today till the next 6 months to towards the tail end of the third quarter of this year, according to this chart. Somebody said, "What goes in?" I saw a really good comment there. Old Elish Norn goes in soldier decks. I just want to take a look. Did I miss that on the cards? Old Elish Norn, Vigilance. Yeah, I guess it does, hey? It goes in soldier decks. Gives other creatures 2/2 and your opponent's -2, -2. Soldier decks getting some more support. So we're seeing this field marshal, and that's the Merrill card too, right? The Merrill, she's like she's like let me just see if I can find the Merrill card. She's like Muriel. Muriel. Yeah, Muriel Shield of Argov. She also gave some serious support. She's commander. She also gave some serious support to the soldiers, right? This Muriel card. Human soldier during your turn. Your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, and enchantment. When Muriel Shield of Argive attacks, create X11 soldier artifact tokens where X is the number of soldiers you control. So Field Marshal giving some support to soldiers. I'll if you want my pick, and it's this guy right here, off the bottom of the reserve list, and like Brody's got to do a bottom 10 video for you. We really do. Good to catch you here on the channel, Tom Mitchell. Have a great day, buddy. I like the location lieutenant. This is a reserve list soldier that gives target soldier +1/0 until end of turn. The reason I like this one is because you can target a soldier, and like if a soldier gets past your enemy's defenses, you can combine this with target creature cannot be blocked effects, such as the Dwarven Wand or Wand of Tawnos. If you put a wand on one of your soldiers and they can get in, target creature with power no greater than 2 becomes unblockable. You can, or even the Dwarven Warriors, you can use this Acacian Lieutenant to give it +1/0 and hit your opponent. I think he might even be able to target Muriel on it, yeah, on his own because she's a 2/2. Well, and she makes him a 3/2, so no, I guess. Yeah, Field. I don't know why that card doesn't see any more price action, but card like Field Marshal is $10. So like there you go. Well, how is a card from 10th edition $10, and then the reserve list Fallen Empire's junk, rare on a reserve list is $1.19. No one knows because no one cares about it. I do like the Field Marshal for soldiers. Alan says he's been thinking about making a Harbin Vanguard Aviator Soldier deck. Neat. Both will be one precon or spoiled. They both have white. One has angels. That's a big push for Elish Norn. All will be one precons. Right. They're both white and one has angels. So the big push for Elish Norm. Gotcha. Of course, there's the follow-up, right? It's this Saturday. You can play the song on Friday then. Woohoo! All right. Happy birthday, Michael. I'll have to put that in the old memory bank here. Ooh, Alan, you picked up an Enlightened Tutor in your draft over the weekend. Very nice. Oh, first bot. I got my first bot. Neat. That's a first bot. Ah, yes. I had to wrench Tom Mitchell. I had to wrench a few people here while I got while I got uh while I got the chat up. I can wrench a few people. Why not? It's a wrench day. I should make uh wait, Michael Superbacker. Let's make Michael a mod for his birthday. Happy birthday, Michael. You're a mod. that's that's the best I can do for you right now. Let's see here. Uh Give me a second there. Use the mouse, Brody. So the big push for Elish Norm Cenobite sounds like it's the precon decks. Oh, Michael's a mod already. There we go. Cool. Did I miss anybody? I think we're good. All right, let's rock the show here. Phil Marshall, Crater Hoof. All right, we're doing the modern list here with you folks. We're having a little coffee in our cup. We're doing a little bit of Magic talks. You know you've made it when the bots start appearing, right? Ooh, Acacian Lieutenant with training grounds. Hey, that reduces the cost. Ooh, ooh. Training grounds. Acacian Lieutenant. So activated abilities of creature cost 2 less. So then you can get his activation for 1. That's even better. See, that's next level tech, right? All right. Thank you, Alan. See, I knew I was missing something, right? Training grounds with the Acacian Lieutenant. I mean, how is that not $10, right? Field Marshal. I don't know. I like the cards off the bottom 10. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Always like the Acacian Lieutenant. Can't say enough about it. Uh, Crater Hoof Behemoth, $36. This card's a game winner. It's a finisher. It ends the game when it buffs your creatures. It's 8 mana. It's $36. It's seen more reprints than the backseat of a Toyota. All right. It's 8 mana. It's got haste. It's a 5/5. When Crater Behemoth enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control gain trample and get +X, where X is the number of creatures you control. It doesn't give them haste, like, and if you so if you can't afford the $36, you can get the end raise forerunners, which is kind of it's 44 cents. And this guy's like, when Enerate Forerunners enters the battlefield, creatures you can control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance and trample until end of turn. This one gives, so you might want to run this as well. But the Crater Hoof is like, it's even a namesake card. Like people even say I got Crater Hoofed. It's an overrun card. It just overruns the battlefield. Overrun. Overrun. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and trample. And so facto goes in anything that runs green. You're absolutely. Have a great day, Tom. I wishing you all the best. Safe adventures, and we'll talk to you soon. Crater Hoof goes in anything that runs green, and Legacy Elves is playing it, right? Why not? Oh, it's over the top, hey, that Crater Hoof. Like, what's the price history on it? Like, when was the last time Crater Hoof, like, it used to be up around $77 when Strixhaven was a thing. Holy smokes, look at this chart. Like, can you see this? Like, this $77 here. It's like kind of heading downward at 33. Maybe it's time to pick. I don't know. I don't. It's buy, right? Like, that's a card, right? Crater Hoof. My, I don't know. I haven't got one. Oh, it's hard. I haven't needed one, but for $30, eh? Jumpstart. It's like I'd try to open one. If I opened one, I'd hold on to it. Modern Masters 2017 foil is $79. I mean, I guess it's a staple. It is a staple. Crater Hoof, something that's always going to have value. It's kind of come down in price. So, like, it looks like, according to this chart, um, you could play it in Elves, and there's a million places to play it in Commander. Cool card. The Hoof. The Hoof is on fire. You don't need no water. Let them. Let's see here. Elish Norn. It's on here twice, different versions. So we'll skip it. This one here from the Master set. It's really, really getting pushed right now because the Precon decks, right? Something for everybody. Precon decks. More Precon decks. All right. Well, Balefire Dragon. Let's go. Check this guy out. He's up 4%. $29. What do you get for $29? You get a dragon or you get a Crater Hoof? Which one is it gonna be? You got, when Balefire Dragon deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to each creature that player controls. Holy smokes. That's a hell of a card for 7 mana. Deals that much damage to each. Yeah, if it hits, it deals 6 to all your opponent's creatures. It's played in Legacy Dragons? Yes, in Commander. $30. $34 for this. Ay, ay, ay. Reprint bait right here. Innistrad Ultimate Masters. Holy smokes, the Ultimate Masters one is even $36. That's an expensive card. Right? Overrun was the old school Crater Hoof, for sure. So this Baleful Fire Dragon seems pretty powerful. I don't know, $36. I'm scared of like, the modern list scares me because, like, anything on this modern list can get hit with a reprint. It really can. So I mean, I'd try and open these, but if you absolutely need it, I guess you gotta go and you gotta buy it. I guess, right? Like, man. What else we got here? Oh, we got Esper Sentinel. This is a card I think is even getting played in Legacy. It's up 3 points as well. Let's have a look here. One white for this $26 for this Modern Horizons 2 card. When opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player pays X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. So you got to pay 1, and then if it gets bigger, you got to pay more. Goes in Modern Taxes? Yes. Hammer Time is playing it. Man, this is a popular deck right now. Hammer Time's playing it. Seems pretty good. It's Prime 406 with a new avatar. I love it. Let's check it out. How you doing, buddy? Nice to have you here this morning. Thanks for joining us. Prime. Sweet feet. Nice to have you joining us. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Prime. Well, you got the hat on. Somebody's birthday. It's Michael Superbacker's birthday this Saturday. So we're wishing him a happy birthday. I like the new avatar. Uh, thanks for joining us here this morning. Prime 406 Games is in the house. We're checking out the price of Esper Sentinel and the Modern list here this morning. Hanging with the fans of Magic the Gathering, the folks who love the game as much as we do. Do you like checking these card lists? Like, does it bore you? Is it fun? I'm doing it anyway. So you could check it here with me each and every morning, Monday to Friday, 5:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Pacific. We're half past the hour. We got a couple of more cards to do. We are gonna run this list. Look at Grave Pact. It's up 2%, and whenever a creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, each other player sacrifices a creature. Grave Pact from 8th edition. This is like an $34 card, hey? Wow. Any other versions of this? Stronghold. 8th edition foil, $198. Holy smokes. 10th edition. Like this thing could see a reprint at any given moment. Whenever a creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, each other player sacks a creature. This seems really good in Commander. Wilhelt, the Rock Cleaver, Maronar, Teysa, Karlov, even with like the Living End card and Living Death, this Grave Pack seems really good. Be wary of the modern cards. They can see a reprint at any time. They can. Vidalcan Archmage, $9.66. Whenever you play an artifact spell, draw a card. For this O2 wizard, seems like a lot. Only printed in Mirrodin and now again in Jumpstart. I guess it needed a reprint, hey? Well, it's seen a tick up. I don't know why this makes. I'd rather get Displacer Kitten, but I like this for the same money. Get the Displacer Kitten. It's such a beast. Cat Beast. $8 for the Displacer Kitten or $9 for the Archmage. And Chalice of the Void, another staple. This thing's gonna get reprinted again and again and again. It can't see. Prime. It was a birthday last Friday. Happy birthday, Prime. We're sending the love over to Bob over at his place. Bob's had a early rise this morning. He's he's chugging along there. In our thoughts here this morning, Dual Brains heading out. Let's take a look over at Ed's channel here a little later, see if he's got anything going on. Chalice of the Void, last card on the list here for the movers and the shakers here today, up $64.20. Well, that's it. That does it for me, folks. Appreciate you guys for hanging with me a little bit past the hour, half past the hour. I'm Brody Alfonso. Today is Tuesday, January 10th. I am here with my friends, the fans of Magic the Gathering, the players, the collectors, the investors, the fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as I do. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining here on the chat and discussion this morning. Michael Superbacker, thanks for having my back. The coach, thanks for coming to all my games. Ed at the Dual Brain channel, Pure Intentions, Tom Mitchell, Alan Cohoon, MTG Gaming Bob, Prime 406 Games, and anybody who's tuning in on the Juice. Appreciate you guys for watching. We're going to be here every day, 5:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Pacific. And Kelly, she's got a hey hello for all you folks. And Time Capsule. Thank you, Time Capsule, for joining us today, this morning on the stream. It's been a real slice. Wherever you're heading today, safe adventures. Bring Brody with you, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Giving you a little bit of Brody's jazz flute here this morning. If Richie Dubs was in the house, you know we'd be getting down.